wants to be a star. Everyone wants to achieve a successful life. But there is something holding you back. Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Valerie, and if this is your first time here, you are so welcome. And if you are a returning girly, hi gorgeous, what's up? Have you ever walked into a room and then you feel that everyone is looking at you and you immediately want to run away? Or say you're invited for something and you don't go because you're thinking, how do I deal with the attention? Everyone is going to be paying attention to me. If that sounds like you, then the fear of being seen is a problem that you have, and I hate to break it to you gorgeous, but that problem is holding you back, and we are going to demystify it today. So what is the fear of being seen? The fear of being seen and the fear of how you're perceived is kind of like the same thing, but they're also different. So the fear of being seen is you don't want to be seen trying, you don't want to be seen making an effort. You enter situations and you're trying to deem yourself, you're trying to meet your life. I was going out with some of my friends, I think sometime last year, and when we all got dressed, I wore a red lipstick and everyone was like, oh my god, this looks so good, and I was like, oh no, I think it's making me look too attractive, oh it's too much. And when I get dressed, sometimes I don't want to wear vibrant colors, I don't want to do red lips, I don't want to do colorful like colors on my hair, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to get attention, I don't want to get attention, I don't want to get attention. And when I had to ask myself, like, that is such a weird thing, like, why are you constantly thinking about that, what other people are going to think, or when you enter a situation? And I'm just going to be saying we a lot in this video, because me and you together, we suffer from this thing. If you're here and this year we need to stand on business and we need to throw that fear out of the window, because we need to have a winning year, and like we cannot be allowing stupid fears hold us back. The fear of being perceived, on the other hand, is you don't want people to think about an action that you have done in a different way. So you don't put yourself in situations where somebody might misinterpret an action that you've done, because once somebody is not seeing an action that you've carried out in the exact same way that you want it to be seen, it bothers you so much that it becomes a problem. So I'm going to give you an example, something that happens to me. So one thing that I don't do often is that whenever people ask me like, oh, what's your opinion on this or da, I say I don't have any opinions. But that is a lie, because I do have opinions. I do have things that I want to say, but I don't want to share my opinion and the other person misinterprets it and then thinks that I'm a bad person. These fears don't just like appear from the blues or nowhere, and there are lots of things that cause it. It could be family trauma, childhood trauma, bad experiences with friends. If you're someone who maybe every time you tell your friends something they misunderstand what you say, you know, over time maybe you start being that person who doesn't really want to share their opinions anymore. Or for example, when you were a child and you know your parents, they would always be like, oh, if you're going there, you talk too much, calm down, don't do this, don't do that. Especially African parents, when they're doing that, they don't really think that they're doing something bad. They're just trying to get you to fit into society. But you grow up and then it is now such an issue. I don't know if you guys remember that TikTok sound that was trending, the fear of looking stupid is holding you back. That was the first time I heard something like that, and I was like, oh my god, like every time people talk about fears, people talk about fear of dying, fear of failing, but the fear of being seen is such a, I don't want to say stupid because it's understandable, but like you're just holding yourself back from even trying because you are so afraid. When you want to deal with this thing, the first thing you need to do is ask yourself that, what are you actually afraid of? Are you afraid of what people are going to say? Are you afraid of what people will think? Are you afraid that you'll be misunderstood? Are you what exactly are you afraid of? And I'm just going to come to content creation, because this fear of being seen, I'd say that in this world and age, so there are people who are out there who have less talent than you do, that are having better opportunities than you because they are just not afraid. So maybe you're invited to give a speech, you're like, oh, you know, what do I really know that I'm going to share, and you refuse to give that speech. But then there's somebody else who has probably just read some things online and they go and they give the speech, and then now they're like the big person and everyone is like, oh but you turned down that opportunity because you were just like afraid of putting yourself out there. I used to be a very, oh let's be mysterious, oh let's be mysterious, well The truth is that you can still be mysterious, but you should not be scared of being cringe. You should not be scared of putting yourself out there, especially if doing that is going to help you achieve certain goals. Imagine finding out that the reason why you haven't gotten to the destination you want to get to in life is because of yourself, as in you are your own problem. That is just so crazy to me, and we need to nip this in the bud, especially right now at the beginning of this year, before it enters the end of 2024 with you. This fear of being seen, if you're not careful, it's already affecting parts of your life. It's affecting your relationships because you're not bringing your full self to your relationships. Your friends don't even really know who you are. They don't know what you think. They don't know your opinions, like, because the more you share your opinions, you notice that there are certain people that would not even be able to remain in your life because you're on this end and they're on this end. You people are not even thinking or moving in the same direction. Your partner doesn't even truly know you or what you want. You're not even showing up as your full self at work or in other locations because you're not bringing your full self. You're keeping half and half away. Now, we've spoken about this fear of being seen, so how do we overcome it? The first thing is self-awareness. I'm going to give you guys a personal example. For me, the first time someone said this to me, she was like, Valerie, your fear of being perceived is holding you back. And I didn't really understand what it meant until a friend of mine shared a video with me, and I watched the video and I was like, oh my god, this is me. Like, I am my own up. The moment I understood that, that was how I launched Kirueka, because like I had to step out of that whole what would people think, what is this, what is that. Like I had to step out of that in order to achieve some level of success. So you want to be self-aware. You want to tell yourself that, you know what, I have this problem, I have this issue, I need to do some work to fix it. When somebody suffers with the fear of being seen, it's not a big problem, but it's also a big problem. So if you're someone who struggles with the fear of being seen, you're not going to go and stand on the stage and try to give the biggest speech in Africa today. You want to start small. It can be when somebody says something at a meeting, share your own opinion. That small idea that you scribbled in your paper that you don't want to speak up on, just be like, a good example, and I shared this in a previous videos back, was that when I posted my coming soon video, I know that I was not in any way half ready the way I wanted to be ready to launch my business. But what I did was that I already put out that video, and I told myself that after I put out that video, are you going to not now launch the business this year? You have to do it. So that was my own small way of pushing and prompting myself to do that. Especially with a TikTok creating content, I've been doing this for a while. I've been actually doing this for a while, and over time I noticed that I was beginning to go into a shop. So what I do now is that when I go out in places, even if I think it's cringe in some certain location, I bring out my camera and try to take a picture or make a video, just so that I can get comfortable with this part of me, that I'm a creator and I cannot keep belittling myself and hiding myself just to make other people feel comfortable. I have goals that I want to achieve. I want to get to 50k on TikTok. I want to get to 50k on YouTube. I want to do crazy brand ambassadorships. I want to work with brands that excite me and make me happy. And if I'm scared to put out content, how are they going to see me? How are they going to find me? How are they going to know that I exist? You know, whenever you're trying to solve any issue or any fear, exposure therapy is always a good idea. You want to expose yourself to the things you're afraid of. Are you afraid of sharing your opinions at work? Then try to speak up at least once or twice in meetings. Are you afraid of someone on the internet who is a family member or co-worker seeing your content and then thinking you're cringe? Then you can start posting on your close friends. Treat your close friends like they're an influencer audience, and over time, the more you become comfortable with it, you know, you can now share that with the bigger world. But you need to be making steps. You cannot stay in the same location. You cannot stay in the same position. You also need to channel who you are. You need to bring your full self. And this is something that I've been telling myself. We hold back part. Not everyone deserves to experience the full extent of you. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying give everybody access to you, but bring your full self. You're better at work, you're better at business, you're better at relationships when you can bring your full self, the part that is chatty, the part that gets excited about the little things, the part that sees every new thing and wants to try. Bring all those parts of you, like channel who you are. The moment you know that you're being very authentic to yourself, it makes it easier to begin to open up, to begin to not be afraid, and also find someone that you trust, someone that you're comfortable with, that you can say, you know what, hey, this scares me. I remember when I used to be so scared to go to influencer events, especially by myself. Then I told certain creators that, you know what, like I always feel so weird when I'm at these things. If you're going to go for something, can you let me know so that we can shop together? That is how I am trying to get over that. So find out what that thing is for you and keep increasing it. And you know what? When you start acting to get over your fear of being seen, to become your full, true, authentic self, there are going to be ups, as with anything that you're doing in life. But you know what, if anybody's trying to rain on your parade, send them love, like love and light, peace. Leave them, leave that space. Do not stay in situations where you've been dimming your light, and you've been dimming your light, and the people who you have around you have been happy that you've been dimming your lights, and then you're trying to step out of it, but they are not letting you go. Don't stay in those situations. Remove yourself from those situations. Find other people that are not struggling with those things. Tell them about the things that you're struggling with so that they can help you get out. There's this thing that a lot of people say, which is, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. The truth is that we all care. But think about it. What if you really, really, really didn't care? There's something that I often tell myself, and which has really, really helped me a lot, and I believe will be helpful to you, is that you are not the main character in everybody's story. You're only the main character in your own story. So, for example, you have this beautiful red dress you want to wear, but you don't want to wear it to an event because you think it's too much. Guess what? You can walk into that event in the red dress, and yes, you might draw some attention and some people turn to you, but as you're walking in, and even if people are facing you, maybe there's someone who is thinking about food that she left on the fire at home, or there's someone who is thinking about something in the fridge that is going to go bad, you know. It's like they might be looking at you, but they're not fully paying attention and processing that thing that you're doing in that moment. So baby, do not let fear hold you back. It's not worth it. I have suffered so much, I have lost so much by allowing this fear of being seen to cripple me from making decisions, to cripple me from starting things that I should have started. If you think about an idea, do not be scared. Try, start it today, start it tomorrow. Or you want to become a content creator, take that ugly picture, post it on your close friends. Or you want to start a service business, okay, call your friend who needs something, offer your services, let her be your first client, you know, and tell her to tell other people that you do it. The moment she has told 5 people that you do that thing and everybody's coming to look for you at it, for it, you have no other option but to actually start the business. You know, this year, let's stand on business. Let's focus on the things we want. Let's not allow fear hold us back, okay? Another thing I'm going to say is that there are more than 7 billion people in this world, and guess what? Newsflash, 7 billion of them can't like you, unfortunately. In fact, if 1 billion people out of the 7 billion like you, that's a very big number. You should be proud. You should actually be proud of yourself. Forget trying to do the most to make everybody accept you. It's not possible, you know. Find your tribe. Even Jesus Christ had haters. Jesus that was without sin, he had haters, you know. And I always tell people that what's the most important thing is you and God. In Jeremiah 29:11, the Bible literally says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to bring you harm." You know, so as long as you are following that plan, you're listening to God when he's speaking, and you're doing it, every other person around will be fine. Oh, she's trying to be a boss babe, I don't like her. That's their problem. That is their problem. That is not on you. And you should not start dimming yourself just to make them feel comfortable, just to make them feel okay. And as I always tell you guys that when I make these becoming her videos, as I'm talking to you, I'm also talking to me, because I make videos about some things that I also struggle with, you know. Like, we need to stop trying to accommodate everyone. Even an airplane would not accommodate everyone, so why are we trying to accommodate the whole world? Find your tribe, stick with them. Bring your true authentic self. Your real tribe would accept you for that true authentic self, whatever it is. The next thing I'm just going to say is life is not that deep, okay? Just like have fun, have a good time with the things that interest you, the things that make you happy. It's never that serious, I promise you. It's never that serious. Just have fun with it. But also, this fear of being seen, this fear of being perceived, if you have a therapist, you should definitely talk about it to understand what the true causes, like the true drivers of these things are, so that you can actually work on them and nip them, so that you're completely free, so that you can work towards hitting your potential and being the actual full version, like your complete self, who you're meant to be. And the truth is that, you know, with confidence and being your authentic self and showing up as who you're meant to be, it might get easier as you get older. But if you're not conscious about working on it, you can be a 40-year-old woman that is still not sure of who she is. The reason why there's so many older women who are confident of themselves is because they did the work. They worked to find out who they are, you know. This year, that fear of being seen, get over it, pray about it, talk to people about it, because you cannot be your own problem. This was a different kind of video. I feel like there was a lot of tough love in this video, but child, sometimes we need to hear it. I really hope this video helped you. I really hope this video taught you a thing or two as I continue to learn more about this topic, because I am also, I mean, I heard this for the first time in November 2023, so it's very, very new. I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to figure it out. Until next time, see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Love you. Don't forget to like, to share, and leave a comment, and please, please, please subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you a penny. See you in my next one.